Okay, so first up we have what I've called the 1950s, 60s comic book Batmobiles. I don't remember ever seeing them in the comics, but I'm told they exist. Various scales. The big die-cast bubble one I built from a kit. It's a great representation of their car. Okay. Now we have what I consider to be the Batmobile next to the 1989, and that's the 1966 TV Batmobile. It's a classic car. You can't go past this car. Had the pleasure of seeing a replica in Australia. Wasn't exactly perfect, but we were in a parade, and it's interesting when you're in a parade and you go across a cross street and the police stop and salute. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. Now we have the 89 Batmobile and the Batwing from the 89 movie. Again, good model kits, various different sizes. Some are actual model kits and others are actually die cast. So I've got a lot more of those too, but not in these box collections. Okay, this is now the miscellaneous. I refer to it as the Batman 2000s. It's just different kits and die casts that I've amassed over the years, and I've put them in one section because they really didn't fit with the others. Okay. Now I'd like to tell a little tale about how you tell families and friends about your hobby, which is pop culture. Many years ago, when Dad was still alive, he could never understand what I saw in pop culture. Yet he was the one who introduced me to comics and science fiction and so on. Anyway, I used to do these collectible fairs where I had a table, I sold stuff, but I also bought stuff. And he wanted to come along one day, so he came along. And we would serve at our table, and after about half an hour, we'd go for a walk, because people would watch the table for you. And we're walking around, and he's looking, and he can't understand it. He's just watching. And then I see it. The holy grail for Batmobile collectors. An original 1966 Batmobile from Corgi/Dinky. Oh my God, it was complete. Needed a repaint job. Didn't have the figures. But it was exactly the same type that I had when I was a kid. That one got painted fluorescent green and buried in the backyard at Penrith. It was the 70s. Anyway, I picked that up, I looked at it, and I looked at the guy selling it. His name was Costa. Now, Costa loved to haggle, and I knew him pretty well, so we haggled back and forth. And I got him down to $120. I gave him $120. He gave me the Batmobile. We walked away happy. He's going, "Oh, you're killing me, Gav, you're killing me." I wasn't. Dad looks at me and says, "Did you just pay $120 for that?" And I said, "Yeah." Yeah. Okay, he says. So we walk back up and we sit down behind the table. We sell a few more things, and he goes, "Really, did you pay $120 for that?" And I said, "Yes, I did." And he goes, "I just don't get it." And I said, "Look around you." I said, "You like golf, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." I said, "So, say you're buying a golf club, what would you pay?" And he said, "Oh shit, don't tell your mum, but I wouldn't pay over $600 for one. But depending on what type of club it is, the lowest I'd go is $120. Oh, I said, "So you'd pay $120 for a golf club?" He says, "Yeah." So I held up the Batmobile. I said, "Well, this is my golf club." Then I motioned around and said, "This is my golf course." And you could see the look go across his face. He understood. And that's the thing. You don't have to justify your hobby to other people. Just point out that your hobby is equal to whatever their hobby is. And if they don't get it, that's their problem. But it sparked an interest in Dad. He came along to a few pop culture things with us after that. And then he got sick, and then that was the end of it. But that's what you do. Anyways, hope you enjoyed that. Catch you later.